speaking of narrative management, Dylan Byers with the scoop. ABC News President Kim Godwin sent a note to staff in which she called recent remarks by Donald Trump shocking and racist. These remarks are as racist as they come, she said. Now, these are, of course, Donald Trump's remarks about saying that black people like him better because he has been charged with felonies. And the actual Trump quote is, I got indicted a second time and a third time and a fourth time, and a lot of people said, because people are saying,
yes,
that's why the black people like me.
Which, again, is Trump borderlining on being an actually funny comedian.
Yes.
Which he does better than almost any politician.
The Dave Chappelle premise
Yes.
of Trump. You can't say that. I can say that. I'm a comedian. Let me do my job. You do your job. Just one first tedious note about political analysis, which is if Donald Trump continues to improve with black and Hispanic voters, particularly men, he may do as well with non-white voters in 2024 as George W. Bush did.
Yeah.
Part of the part of the story about like what's going on with non-white voters and all of this obsession with non-white voters is we went through a very weird period in which Democrats nominated the first African-American presidential candidate ever twice. And then the Republicans nominated the host of The Celebrity Apprentice, who celebrated Cinco de Mayo by talking about the great taco salad at Trump Tower. We had an anomalous period, and a lot of what's going on is just, and this is, I know, I stipulate internet, tedious, a reversion to mean where black candidates, Nate Moore, you recently pulled up these numbers for us, but it's going back to where it's 12% of the black vote or something goes to the Republican candidate, as opposed to 4% when it's in the Obama-Trump era.
Yeah.
But anyway, the idea that the president of ABC News has to say, just so you know, make no mistake, this isn't just race. These things are not just racist. They're as racist as you come.
Well, so part of it, tying these two things together, one is people in the media class, bourgeois values we're all brought up on. And one of the bourgeois values is don't say things that are racially insensitive. Don't make racial jokes in public, etc. Right. Don't say things that are a little bit racist.
Yes.
I think much of the electorate doesn't actually think that making bad racist jokes or racist comments is the same as racism. Right. Racism is refusing to hire somebody if he's black, while for us, racism would be telling a Dave Chappelle joke when you're not a black guy. Right. And so that's these comments that Trump makes that make me laugh because they reflect his sort of what at first strikes me as his idiocy, and then I say he's like the guy at the end of the bar.
Exactly.
You know, Chris, I do a lot of bar reporting.
Yes, you are.
And the guys at the end of the bar don't always follow the rules of sort of bourgeois ethics that you and I will follow on a day-to-day basis. And so the media thinks that saying racist things is racism. And I think the median voter, black, white, Hispanic, does not think that counts as racism.
Well, and eliminating the NFL had in its end zones, I don't know if they did this season or not, but for a period of time, they had a slogan in their end zones that said, end racism. And it's like, probably not. We will probably not end racism, and that we will move into the sunny uplands of history in which people
the sweet meteor of death or the second coming of the Savior is going to end racism.
That is how we will stop having stereotypes. And so what the NFL should say in its end zone is be nice. Try to be nice to people. Can you try to be, that would be much better to say in the end zone, try to be nice. Right? Because that's the human nature, as I say very often, undefeated. Human nature remains for 10,000 years, just crushing it. And the idea, I think, just as you say that, like somebody's crazy uncle, he's always saying, he said the thing. That's what Trump is, a guy who they famously tried to nail on, saying if you don't have, I think it was like, if you don't have Jewish accounts, if you don't have Jewish people handling your money. And it was like, can you believe he said that? And many Jewish people were like, it's kind of funny. That's like, he shouldn't say, you shouldn't say that. but I get the joke. This is a good example of how absolutism of opposition creates more space for the alleged problem that we were talking about before we recorded. Shane Gillis, who recently hosted Saturday Night Live. Now, the story of Shane Gillis, for people who do not know, is that he got hired to work on Saturday Night Live, and then somebody found an old podcast in which he made I think lazy is the correct term for the joke, in which he was playing a character who was saying something racist, not being racist himself, about Asian Americans. And so he got Kevin Williamson. He got hired, and then they were like, no, you're making people upset. You have to leave. And then Saturday Night Live had Shane Gillis on to host, and he was very funny, and I think Shane Gillis is very funny. And what makes Shane Gillis an attractive comedian and why he's going up so far and so fast is the transgression, right?
Yep.
The fact that he's he's doing what comics are supposed to do, which is he's pushing you into like, is this okay to laugh at? And he's taking the danger on for himself. You mentioned Chappelle. Lots of people do it. And Donald Trump is a comedian. That's the thing. Unfortunately, America, he is not just a comedian. He has an about even chance of taking control of the nuclear codes again.